Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. It isn't high time that The Young and the Restless stopped its never-ending game of musical CEOs and corporate intrigue. It's past time. And the return to Genoa City of two MIA characters could not only put an end to the business storylines that amount to nothing, it could reunite a super couple and raise eyebrows with a brand new pairing to boot. Whoever could we mean? Read on. It's been more than a decade since Philip Chancellor II last came home. And though he had about as much interest in Chancellor Industries as he did in dating women, he should be moved to act now. If only to relieve the stress it's putting on Mom Jill to have half-brother Billy running the show. Philip's solution. He'll go ahead and superficially take over as a sign that the corporation is staying in the family. He'll shake the hands, give the speeches, endure the photo ops. But the actual work of keeping the company afloat will fall on the shoulders of the next best thing to him, Kane Ashby, whom he once tried to pass off as Jill and Philip Hugh's son. Billy would stomp his feet and pout at being unseated from the position that Mommy gave him. But in no time, things would settle right down at Chancellor. Victor would even back off his takeover attempt, as happy as he is with the way Catherine's legacy is being preserved under the new regime. And he'd have to be blind not to notice that Kane and Lily are getting along swimmingly. It's as if the time apart allowed them to put past mistakes behind them and start over. As for Philip, he quickly noticed that there seems to be a dearth of available men in Genoa City. That is, until Fen Baldwin returns for a visit. Over a drink, they'd laugh about the fact that for a city with like 2,000 giant corporations, it's weird that there are only two members of the LGBTQ+ community, Maria and Tessa. Or four, now that the guys are in Genoa City. Fen could explain that he recently got out of a relationship that hadn't been all that serious. He hadn't even known Trey's last name. But Michael and Lauren had liked Trey. Maybe, Fen jokes, he could scandalize his folks by going out with an older man. Got anyone in mind? Philip asks, as if it isn't obvious who Fen means. Before we knew what hit us, The Young and the Restless would have on its hands Lane 2.0 and an unexpected May/December romance between Philip and Fen. And knock wood, for weeks on end, we wouldn't have to hear bleep about who's running what company or which zillionaire is plotting to leave a rival only almost as rich as they've always been. What do you think? Should Philip and Kane swoop in and take over Chancellor? The sun had dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of gold and violet, when Daniel finally set foot on the familiar cobblestone street of Willowbrook. The town, nestled in the heart of a lush valley, had changed since he left a decade ago. The once quaint, sleepy place now boasted an array of modern amenities, but the essence of Willowbrook, its charm and warmth, had remained untouched. As he walked past the old brick buildings, memories of his childhood danced before him, like fragments of a cherished dream. Daniel's return was not merely a trip down memory lane. It was a journey back to something, or rather, someone, he had left behind. Lily, her name alone wrought a rush of emotions. The tender warmth of first love, the pain of separation, and the hope of reconciliation. In his heart, Daniel harbored a promise he had made years ago, that one day he would return to Willowbrook, to the girl who had once been his world. The reunion had been years in the making. They had grown up together, their lives intertwined in the simplest of ways. As children, they would explore the surrounding woods, pretend to be adventurers on epic quests, and share secrets under the sprawling oak tree by the river. They were inseparable until life's uncertainties pulled them apart. He went to college in the city, and she stayed behind, her life rooted in the rhythm of Willowbrook. Their last summer together was a bittersweet farewell, a promise of letters and visits that slowly dwindled as time and distance took their toll. As Daniel approached the familiar sight of the old bakery, its windows adorned with a delicate lace trim, he could almost hear Lily's laughter. The scent of freshly baked bread and pastries wafted through the air, a reminder of simpler times. He entered, greeted by the warm, inviting atmosphere and the gentle hum of conversation. The bakery was bustling, its interior a mix of rustic charm and modern touches. Behind the counter, an older woman with a warm smile and silver-streaked hair was busy arranging a display of pies. She looked up as Daniel entered, her eyes reflecting a moment of recognition. "Hello there, stranger," she said, her voice rich with familiarity. "It's been a while since I've seen you. What can I do for you today?" Daniel's heart skipped a beat. "I'm looking for Lily," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Lily Harper." The woman's eyes softened. "Ah, Lily. She's been gone for a few days, but she should be back soon. She's been working on a project out of town. Are you Daniel? I heard she might be expecting you." The news of Lily's absence was a small setback, but Daniel's determination did not waver. "Yes, I'm Daniel. I'll wait for her." He took his seat at a small table by the window, his mind racing with memories and anticipation. The bakery's charm was unchanged, a comforting backdrop to his thoughts. As he waited, he couldn't help but reflect on the passage of time and how it had shaped their lives. Minutes turned into hours, and just as he began to wonder if he had missed her, the door creaked open. The bells jingled, and in walked a familiar figure. Lily. Her hair, now longer and streaked with strands of gold, cascaded over her shoulders. Her eyes, a deep blue that still held the same spark, scanned the room with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. When their gazes met, a moment of stillness enveloped them. Lily's reaction was a blend of surprise and joy. "Daniel," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "Is it really you?" He stood up, his heart pounding. "It's me, Lily." In an instant, they were in each other's arms, a reunion filled with the warmth of old affection and the relief of finally coming home. Their embrace was a testament to the bond that had endured despite the years and distance. As they pulled back, their eyes were moist with unspoken words. "I wasn't sure if you'd actually come," Lily said softly. "It's been so long." Daniel nodded. "I promised I would. And here I am, just like I said I would be." They spent the evening catching up, their conversation flowing effortlessly, as if no time had passed at all. They shared stories of their lives, their dreams, and their regrets. Lily spoke of her work on a local art project, a mural that celebrated the beauty of Willowbrook. Daniel listened with admiration, realizing how much she had grown and evolved. As the night wore on, they walked together to the old oak tree by the river, a place that held so many memories for them. The moonlight bathed the scene in a soft, silvery glow, and the gentle sound of the river added a serene soundtrack to their reunion. "I've missed this," Daniel said, looking at the river. "I've missed us." Lily nodded, her expression reflective. "I missed it too. And you." They sat beneath the oak tree, their fingers entwined, and talked about their hopes for the future. The conversation turned to the promise Daniel had made years ago. "I remember you telling me you'd come back." Lily said, a hint of a smile playing on her lips. "I didn't think you'd actually keep that promise." Daniel's gaze was steady. "I had to. You've always been a part of me, and I couldn't imagine my life without you in it. I didn't know how or when, but I knew I had to return." Lily's eyes were filled with tears, but there was a smile on her face. "I'm glad you did. It feels like everything is falling into place." As the night deepened, they stayed there, wrapped in the comforting embrace of the past and the hopeful promise of the future. The stars above seemed to shine a little brighter, as if celebrating their reunion. Returning to Willowbrook had been more than just a physical journey for Daniel. It had been a quest to rediscover a piece of himself that he had left behind. And in reuniting with Lily, he'd have found not only the fulfillment of a promise, but the renewal of a bond that had withstood the test of time. The future was uncertain, but for the first time in a long while, Daniel felt that everything was right where it was meant to be. In the end, returning to reunite with Lily was not just about rekindling an old love, but about finding a way back to the essence of who he was. As they walked hand in hand back to the town, Daniel realized that some promises, no matter how long they take, are worth every moment of waiting.